Shalom, shalom. This is the brother Kadar Bun, GMS, Mississippi Gulf Coast. I'd like to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahak, Radash. Double honors are given unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, men who have labored and suffered in this truth for over 30 plus years, making their lives and their bodies a living sacrifice. I also like to give a shalom to the hopefully elect, 1/3 of the nation of Israel, the various GMS camps, heads of those camps, and also to any of you walking on the highways and hedges, not named GMS, but walk in one spirit, one body, Yahweh Shai. To you all, shalom. Salakia. Trying to get over some of this madness that Esau is spewing throughout the planet by way of his chemtrails and genetically modified foods, and the list goes on and on. But past that point now, I want to do a quick video, hopefully it's edifying, on this new, as you see in the title, that variant. We're going to let the man speak, and we're going to pull out precepts. Hopefully this be quick and to the point. And yeah, we just let the Spirit take it.
Is the name of the new COVID variant that just might be the scariest version of COVID yet. The WHO, the World Health Organization, they just announced that this SARS-CoV-2 coronavirus, B11529, has been elevated to a variant of concern. Welcome guys, I'm Dr. Mike Hansen, and by the end of this video, you'll understand the 3 things about Omicron that make it super concerning. 1 is the specific mutations on the spike protein. 2, the number of mutations in the spike protein. And then 3, the fact that this is the fastest spreading COVID variant so far. The Omicron variant emerged in South Africa. It was first discovered by scientists a few days ago. It has over 30 mutations in the spike protein, and that's raising concerns that it might be more contagious, possibly cause more severe infection, and might be able to evade our vaccines. This is not known for sure, but there's a high level of concern there, especially because of how fast this virus is spreading there. The question is, will our vaccines still be effective against the Omicron variant? That was the concern when Delta came out, and thankfully our vaccines remain effective against Delta. But Delta doesn't have the same number of mutations as Omicron, and the big fear that the virus is evading our immune system might come true. I mean, we've had new variants emerge, right? We've seen a lot of variants pop up over the last 8 months or so, and most of them, for example, Lambda, have not amounted to much. I mean, you hear about all these new variants emerging all the time. That's expected. And they're detected because scientists are constantly running surveillance on COVID. But here we are with the new one, Omicron, and it has a special level of concern, not just because it has more mutations in its spike protein, over 30 mutations, but also because some of those mutations are the same mutations as the other 4 variants of concern. But we really won't know if this variant will escape our vaccines until probably a few weeks from now, because it takes time to do those studies. Keep in mind that whenever there's a new virus, just like in Wuhan, by the time you actually identify it, you're already a few weeks behind it, which means it already spread, most likely throughout the world. When you look at one of these mutations on the spike protein, any given mutation can clue you in as to its ability to potentially evade the immune system and the immune system's antibodies. Is it possible that the new variant is in the US? As of right now, there are no confirmed cases here, but it's only a matter of time. We know that it went to Botswana and made its way to Hong Kong and then Belgium, so it's possible that it's in the United States, but as of the making of this video, there are no confirmed cases, which speaks to just how fresh this new variant is. A specimen from the first known case in South Africa was collected November 9th and has been spreading quickly there. In order to test for it, you have to first get the exact molecular blueprint of that new strain, so United States scientists are collaborating with South African scientists in order to make that happen, which my guess that's going to take a few days. So scientists will have some preliminary data in the next few days to get an idea if this is going to be escaping our vaccines. But I have to say, I don't have a good feeling about this new variant. The specific mutations, the number of mutations, and how quickly it became dominant in South Africa, meaning how fast a specific strain spreads in a certain area, we're talking days to weeks as opposed to Delta, which took months. WHO officials also said in their statement that preliminary evidence does suggest that Omicron also poses a higher risk of a reinfection compared to other variants of concern. And when scientists see this, it's no wonder why world leaders are reacting quickly. They're announcing new travel restrictions. But how effective those travel restrictions are, that's a whole nother conversation. Regardless, President Biden did say that he's going to restrict travel from South Africa and 7 other nations starting Monday. Also, you already have vaccine makers getting ready, even testing Omicron-specific boosters. Moderna, they're running tests. They came out and said that the strain includes mutations seen in the Delta variant that are believed to increase transmissibility and mutations seen in the Beta and Delta variants that are believed to promote immune escape. The combination of mutations represents a significant potential risk to accelerate the waning of natural and vaccine-induced immunity. Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, same deal. The thing of it is right now is that Delta is still overwhelming. It's still crowding ICUs. Just about all of those patients I see on a daily basis, unvaccinated. But what if Omicron does render our vaccines useless? That would basically mean we'd be experiencing a whole new pandemic again, a whole nother 2020, unless these vaccines are quickly tweaked to account for the new variant. That's why you have these vaccine makers jumping on this right now. But the thing with travel bans, for them to work in preventing global spread of a virus, you have to go all out. It's either all or none. Partial travel bans is like using a bucket to empty water off of a sinking ship. If this virus is truly worse than Delta to the point of ineffective vaccines, the only way to stop the spread is to completely shut things down. But I hope that's not the case, obviously. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope Omicron is nothing more than a new variant that people got excited about and nothing comes of it. But only time will tell. So we'll see.
Did you know there is a potent 15-second ritual that shrinks your prostate faster than everything else discovered? A recent discovery reveals a natural way to restore prostate health in record time. In June 2021, scientists from Harvard Medical School and Stanford University have all agreed.
Enough of that. Well, it goes without saying, there's a new scary monster coming out of these CV Axel variants. It's a never-ending game of the cat chases his tail type of ordeal. I mean, we can go back in this man's track record and see that, this started out as something going on overseas, mainly in China, and it spread across the whole planet. It's safe to say that none of this is going to stop. It's just a snowball effect, And this man has been set up to do what he's doing, and there's no turning back now. And we're going to start off with Job 9:24, and it reads, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" Now, anytime we look at any of these news reports, worldwide, it seems as though they're all on the same page. You understand? Sure, you may be looking at a news report in Singapore. You may be looking at a news report in Australia. You may be looking at a news report in whatever part of the world. The fact of the matter is that they're all on cue. None of them are. They're all scripted. They're all scripted, and it seems to be. The script seems to be coming out of the West. You understand? It seems to be coming out of the West, the stronghold. The military might. The people who have embassies throughout the whole planet. Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America. They're running their worldwide plans, their agenda out of America. And this man is by far the wickedness. Let's see, I want to start in like your book of Psalms. I ain't feeling my best, but nevertheless, the work has to be done. Hopefully this be edifying. We're going to go into Psalms, the 10th chapter, and read a few verses, because this, what I'm about to read, it fits the people who are pulling the strings behind the closed doors perfectly. You understand? And we need not look far to see who's doing this, because all we have to do is look at the currency. Whose face is on the currency? Whoever faces on the currency is the people who are in control. These so-called white people, starting with their elite bankers on down to their heads of states, these puppet world leaders, But this is Psalms 10th chapter, starting at the top. It says, "Why standest thou afar off, O Lord Yahweh? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble?" Verse 2, and it reads, "The wicked in his pride doeth pursue the poor. Let them be taken in their devices that they have imagined." And ultimately, this man gonna get what's coming, You can't go all across the planet, rape, robbing, murdering, stealing, and making up deceitful and zirconian laws so that you can keep what all you done stole under a heap of contracts, birth certificates, Social Security, and all kind of, treaties. They're going to get caught up in their own madness. And they're at the tipping point. They're at that tipping point with all this madness. Verse 3, it says, "For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blessed the covetous, whom the Lord Yahweh abhorreth." They not down in what that is, Venezuela a few years back during the Trump administration, down there trying to take over all that rich land full of oil and minerals and whatnot, natural resources. Covetous, want what another man has, while they drain the resources and make themselves rich. These big oil executives and whatnot, while they starve out the people. And you have the heads of states of these places, of these different countries, and some of them be Israelite countries, a lot of them are, and they'll go along with the agenda so that they can line their pockets. So this is not just for this white man, it's along with his cronies as well, Verse 4, and it reads, "The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after Yahweh thy power. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts." Of course not. Because you got a worldwide surveillance deal going on, cameras in space, cameras on every corner, cameras in your TVs and your telephones, your laptops, doorbells, everything is hooked up via Wi-Fi. Hell, you got cameras in goddamn ant mounds, all underwater, and nesting areas where animals nest and whatnot. You portray yourself as the Most High. You want to see all and do all and try to control all. It's evident. It's evident who this man is and who these scriptures are talking about. Verse 5, it says, "His ways are always grievous." Always. It's always something hard about it. He make up a law, look, you got to wear seatbelts. Now he make up a law, it's mandatory that you have insurance. He make up a law that you got to have medical insurance. He make up all these laws and state them and enact them and put them on the books. And hell, you making 26, 35 bucks an hour or whatnot. When he get through getting his cut out of your paycheck by the end of the week, it's like you making $15 an hour, 18 bucks an hour. All his ways are grievous. He make it hard on you here. And we know that to be the case. And now he's trying to force down these mandatory health issues. And you got to ask yourself why. Because ultimately it boosts his finances dealing with his pharmaceutical and his medical and his medical insurance empire. I mean, it just takes a little thought to try to see the end all be all of what this man is actually doing, because he leave breadcrumbs as far as his track record, who he is, what he's been about the whole time he's been in power, dating back to the late 14th, early 13th century. It's been nothing but mayhem, lies, deceit, wars. But anyway, let's keep going. His ways are always grievous. They're hard. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight, and for all his enemies he puffeth at them. And he booting up at everybody. You know, go back about 10 or 15, 20 years back, it was a big deal about these other nations being able to have nuclear capacity. You know, he didn't want that because he wanted to always have the biggest gun. So we talking about this so-called white man. He want to put sanctions on this country and sanctions on that country if you don't stop your enrichment of plutonium and starve yacht. He want to freeze your bank account, all that old type of madness. Because he always wants to have the biggest gun. That way he can have leverage over you. So it's hard living under this man. It's hard. Matter of fact, let me grab a script real quick. Let's go. I think it's in Proverbs, I believe. Real quick, we'll get right back to that. Proverbs 29:2. And it reads, straight to the point, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the righteous in authority, the people will rejoice. There's no rejoicing going on. The whole world is in turmoil. There's rumors of war. You got China booting up. You got Russia booting up, Turkey, France. I mean, if somebody drop a nickel in the room with all these world leaders, it might just start out to be a fist fight up in there, and it break out in a whole war, world's war. Because that's ultimately what we're headed to. Whole world is in an uproar. Want to get rid of these damn Yankees. Verse 2, let's read again. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people will rejoice. And the people are not rejoicing. That's evident. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. It's what we see every day when we turn on the TV. You know, protests in the governments of Italy, protests in the governments of Australia, protests in the governments of France, protests here in Babylon, a.k.a. America. Protests all over the world. Could you tell me that these people are rejoicing? I think not. Of course not, they're not rejoicing. Let's get back to the verse at hand. This is Psalms 10:5, and it says, his ways are always grievous, always hard. Their judgments are far above out of his sight. As for his enemies, he puffeth at them. Verse 6, he has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. That's a proud statement there. And is not America proud? The Marines, proud. You know, proud to be an American. I mean, you know, you can go on and on. Made with the pride of the USA, you know, slogans and whatnot. He should never be moved. What you think this these implementations of these new laws and whatnot. He's trying to keep what he has stolen through deceitful laws, mischief, lies. You get the picture? He's been doing it for so long that he knows no other way. He don't know no other way. He don't even know that he's slipping up. He don't even know that he's slipping up. Matter of fact, let me get because he's so ratchet in what he do, he don't even know that he ratchet, if that makes any sense. This is Proverbs chapter 4, and let's go straight to the point. Let's see. This is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 19, and it reads, "The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble." You know, all his way, he in himself don't even know that he's wicked. And I dare make that statement, you understand? Because he's always making excuses for why he do this and why he do that. And if you notice, this place, America, is never wrong. It's never wrong. It's always somebody else. It's always the axis of evil and so forth and so on. But that goes to show you, can't nobody always be right. You understand what I'm saying? Not in this world, in this day and time. Can't nobody always be right. And if you check the track record of this man, America has always been right. Let them tell it. Now, that was a cynical statement. But at the same time, it was a true statement. They've never counted themselves to be at fault in anything. They always were justified in anything that they do. Psalms 10 and 6, and it reads, "He had said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity." And it's hard to tell that he ain't in adversity now. I mean, he got a good poker face. And when I say he, I mean she, America, has a good poker face because the people are gearing up for, well, we just got through with Thanksgiving. Now they gearing up for what? Christmas, New Year's, Black Friday sales, sport venues, new TV reality shows. Hell, if you didn't know no better, shit, America is at its best time right now. As America at its best as she has ever been. But that's just a facade. This place is circling the drain. Verse 7, it reads, "His mouth is full of cursing and deceit, and fraud under his tongue is mischief and vanity." This is a double-speaking, double-tongued snake. Smooth, buttery words. Matter of fact, let's get that. I think it's Psalms 55. God damn it. Let me see. Real quick. Psalms 55, I believe it is. I do believe it is. Let's see. 55. Real quick. Yes. This is Psalms 55 and verse 20, and it reads, "He had put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant." Yeah. Everything that this man stands for, he really don't stand for. He stands for being deceitful and being a snake. Now, you can bet on that. You can count on him being that. Anything else is this verse right here coming up. "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords." But check this out. "Cast thy burden upon the Lord Yahweh, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteousness to be moved." And that's ultimately talking about 2/3 of the nation of Israel. This is a slick tongue, slick maneuvering, cunning snake, the so-called white man, with all these different variants. Let's read on. It says, "He sitteth in the lurking places of the village. In the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor." And we're all aware of the Georgia Guidestones in Georgia. I believe it's in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Correct me. I mean, don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure it's in Georgia, where it says that they want to maintain one of the commandments is that they want to maintain humanity under 500 million, roughly the population of the United States, give or take 100 million. Now you tell me, you ask yourself, that's more than 3/4 of the planet. And he going about it all kind of snake and slithery ways, chemtrailing, GMOs. He done wore the land out. He will not abide by none of the laws that the Lord has set forth. Just farm the land until it's just naked and dry of all minerals and substances. Now he got to go in his lab and create frankenfoods. And this stuff is jamming up your intestines and whatnot, causing you all kind of illnesses and cancers and whatnot. And yet and further, he steady lines his pockets and his pharmaceutical companies and his medical facilities and his what that is, health insurance empire off our well-being, off of our illness, off the death and destruction of the Lord's people. Anyway. Verse 9, it says, he lied in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lied in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. The traps. Verse 10, it says, he crouched and humbled himself that the poor may fall by his strong ones. And that's going to be these military troops, these the UN troops, these National Guards and whatnot. He's implementing all of this by way of the military. Sooner or later, they're going to be strange people, strangers or strange speaking people in military uniforms and military vehicles and whatnot, marching up and down your streets and whatnot. This is right around the corner. Verse 11, this will be the last one. It says, he had said in his heart, God had forgotten. He hid in his face. He will never see it. And they truly believe that. They truly believe that. That's why they that's why they carry on the way they do. Manifest destiny and whatnot. They think they're ordained to do the things that they do. And for the most part, there's some truth to that. But it's going to just to build up what the Lord is going to do in the end. You got to have you an adversary so you can show who's the man. And that's exactly what the Lord is going to do. But he said that the Lord forgot about it. Let's get this and we'll close out with this. This is Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 15. It says, that which had been is now, and that which is to be had already been. And God, Yahweh power, required that which is past. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. So, in that place under the sun is talking about planet Earth. And, you reap what you sow. This man has reaped wickedness. And so, guess what? He's going to have to deal with the onslaught of what he's done. He's sown wickedness in the earth. And through all these draconian laws and whatnot, he thinks he's going to keep it. I'm going to close out with this one. Didn't mean to make it this long. Trying to get better at how I present the Galatians. Yes. 6. This is Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7, because ultimately, like I said, he gonna receive judgment. He think the Lord has forgotten. He think the Lord doesn't see all this wickedness that he's doing. He does this, in the wide open, on the worldwide stage. The people have not the ears nor the eyes, nor the ears to see, nor hear what this man is actually doing, because they're under the spell, the Spirit of the Lord. But the Lord sees all, and he perceives all. Just like we read in Ecclesiastes 3:15 and 16, the Lord sees all. And there's a recompense for that. There's a payback for that. This is Galatians 6, verse 7. It reads, "Be not deceived. Yahweh the power is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." You went around this planet enslaving, stealing folks, robbing folks of natural resources, creating wars, draining the planet, tearing up the planet, making the earth a wilderness, destroying the planet. You got a damn an island of trash off the coast of Rhode Island, Massachusetts, up there the size of Texas. You've sown wickedness and destruction in the world, and you think you're going to share a seat with the Lord? Utter madness. Verse 8, and it reads, "For he that soweth to himself, to his flesh, shall also, Salakia, for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting." And that's speaking to the hopeful elect, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. Hopefully all the brothers of GMS and our brothers alike that come forth with this 100% doctrine, starting with the apostles and the elders on down. That's speaking of us, Lord willing. And with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.